Hey, yo, welcome guys to this new channel. Welcome to this new podcast episode. So, guys, today I want to motivate yourself, teaching you a little bit about my story. I want to tell you behind my story, everything that I did to finally speak English, and I want to tell you step by step that everything that it was about my process of learning English. Okay, guys, because you need to understand something, and this is that you don't give up. You're never gonna get up because always you need to work on your goals and your dreams, and everything is possible, guys, in this life. So, guys, I'm here for that to motivate yourself and not only to talk to you and give you guys different podcasts that speaking about different things that I lived in my life as well. I want to teach you real and American and authentic English, American English. So guys, it's time to go to that part of the podcast. So it's time to start. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you that I am not a native American speaker. Have you noticed my accent? It is not like a real and an authentic English American accent. So it is obvious because I born in one of the countries in Latin America. So guys, this never stop myself to don't work on my English, to don't study English. So always I motivate myself, and always I have a goal and I have a vision. And you need to have a vision what you're gonna do. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about my story. So everything started when I was 10 years old. At that time when I saw in a lot of moments my mom crying, because I want to tell you that in my family only I have my mother and my siblings. I have one brother and one sister, and I'm the last of the family. And let me tell you that never I had my father for support me, to help me, to do the work of a father. So he never was with me, but that never stopped myself. Always I believed in myself that everything is possible. Only we need to work. Okay, that is the only fact that you have in front of you. Work in yourself, work in your goals, and everything is going, guys. So I remember that never I had my father with me. He never supports me. He never was with me. And at that time, when I saw in a lot of opportunities my mom crying, I said, wow, this is so incredible. This is unbelievable that I don't have my father. I don't have more family that they could support me, they could support my mom, they could support my family. So at that time my mind changed, and that was something so possible for me. And I said, wow, this is something incredible. At that time, at the age of 10 years, I started to work in construction, and actually I worked 2 years in construction at that time. And at that time I remember that then I had another job that it was in a bakery. So I worked in a bakery too for 1 year, and then I worked for 6 years as a technician in air conditioners. So all my life it was like something hard, it was something so challenging, but at that time I did all the things for to get money, for make money, and to buy things to my house, and to support my mom, because I said something to me, I said something to myself and this was that never I wanted to see again my mother crying, because I know that some of you that you are listening to this epic episode, you have mom, and you want only to see happy your mother. Only you want to see your mother, laughing, and to see her, super happy and all this stuff. So always I wanted to have that dream to have my mother so happy and to give her everything, because always I said she deserved everything, because she always was working so hard for us, for give us everything that it was in her hand. And at that time I said, so now it's time for me to work. Okay, and since when I was a kid, when I saw some people speaking English, that was something that I was, super shocked. That was something that I felt, like so incredible, only looking people speaking English. And I said, in one opportunity, I want to speak English like them. In the future, I want to be like them, speaking English. And I don't want to be in the same place. And I want to have one of the best jobs. I want to do something so incredible, and never, but never, I want to be like in the way that I'm right now, because trust me, I worked so but so hard, and everything was so crazy for me at that time. And for that I said, never I want the support of anyone else, because I want to get my things only for my own. Okay, so at that time I started, to work in all these things. But 6 years ago, right now I'm 23 years old, but 6 years ago I finally started to study English, but never I went to an academy. Only I studied English by myself, and that was something so crazy for me, because I said, man, I have the tools, and the only tool that you need is yourself, is to believe that you can do it. Because if you don't believe, if you don't have a vision, what you gonna do with you? So man, let me tell you that you are lost. Okay, so first of all, you need to have a vision. Okay, what do you wanna do? And at that time I said, okay, I want to learn English because I could work in the airport, I could work, as a teacher, I can work, in call centers, I can work, in something else, and I can do a lot of things, with English. I can travel, I can have a better life, in another country, and I can do a lot of things, if I can speak English. So at that time, that was on my mind. And I said, okay, now it's time. Because at that time, let me tell you that I didn't have any money. And I don't have enough money, to go to an academy and start to learn in English. And start with all these things. And a lot of people, they lose their time looking and Googling, what is the best place, what is the best academy to go and learn English. No, man, no, dude, you only need yourself. So at that time I remember that I had some English books, since when I was at school. And I started, to learn basic conversations, basic words, basic phrases, and I repeated, in a lot of opportunities, and I listened different, conversations in English, because I started to use the internet tool, and I reproduced, different basic conversations, what that means, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Conversations like, hey, hello, how are you? I'm fine, and what about you? And things like this, and I repeat this in a lot of opportunities, time and time and time and time again, to finally recognize every single word, to finally recognize and to keep in stock in my mind every single word, every single phrase, and everything about the conversation. Because I said, okay, it is a basic conversation, but I could use this on my personal life. Because once in a time, I could have a conversation with someone that speaks only English, and this it could be work on me. This will work on me. So at that time, I started, to study conversation like this, basic words, basic phrases. Hello, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and things like this. And I started to only use myself, because let me tell you, if you have an excuse and this is because you don't have a partner, man, you're loose. So your partner are you, is yourself, and you is yourself and you, man. So if you want to reach that level that you want in English, only repeat everything and only work to you, man. So I remember that I did a lot of conversations with myself, and and I remember that at that time, in some opportunities, I thought, man, probably I'm crazy, or I'm becoming crazy, because I am speaking alone with me and I don't have anyone else who can I practice, and that was so crazy for me, but that works, and because right now I can speak English. So that is my point. Okay, so if you said and you have excuses that I don't have money to go into academy, I don't have a partner to practice English, I don't have the tools, I don't have this and I don't have that, man, you never gonna advance. So now you need to understand this, and I want to motivate yourself, because you need to practice to yourself. You need to have everything, but you need to work. Okay, so that's step one. You need to work. You need to be so disciplined, and you need to say, okay, I don't have anything, but I have myself. Because everybody can give you the back. Trust me, your family can give you the back. Your friends can give you the back, but yourself never gonna give you the back. Because only you need to believe in you, only you need to believe in yourself. So I mean that was my case. I don't have my family, I don't have the support from my family, I don't have the support of my father, I don't have anything else to practice, I don't have any friend that he could speak English. So man, I felt so lost. I was like, oh my gosh, where I am. So what did I did? You can ask. Man, so something that I did, it was going, is to don't feel freak out, to don't feel like everything is lost, and I can do anything, man. So stand up, come on, get up. It's time to you, man, to advance. It's time to you, man. Forget everything that you want. And I know that a lot of you guys, you want so much to speak English. So now is your time, guys. Come on, go ahead, dude. Come on, it's time for you. It's your time. So imagine that some of you live in the United States. For a lot of reasons, you need to speak English. It is so necessary. You know how much necessary it is to speak English if you live in the United States, if you live in Canada, right? So these things, you can get it, but why? Working on yourself, working so much, working so hard, never feel tired, to studying English, man. So you need to motivate yourself, because you can get a lot of things, speaking English. You can get, one job so good, you can, have conversations with a lot of people over the world. man, all over the world. And something too crazy is that you can travel to different places. You have a better life, in another country. You can go to the United States, you can go to Canada, you can go to the United Kingdom, you can go to Australia or anywhere else, that you want to go. And you can do a lot of things, when you have everything about English, when you know English and when you speak English, man. So this is a great tool for start, to go in and do everything that you want, man. Because if you want to get money, if you want to make money, man, so English is a good tool. Why? Because you can teach English, you can work, in anything else. You can have a lot of opportunities, jobs, man, when you speak English. Now if you don't speak English, man, so trust me that you feel like, man, what way I need to take, or how can I do, man, now in this life. Because every single job that you can find, they always wanted that you speak English. But it meant that if you can't, so, man, I'm telling you, I never have the money, I never had, the tools or enough tools. But I started to do the things, man, and then I was learning more vocabulary, I was learning more phrases, idioms, slangs, and all these things. And not only I want to give you, and I want to make you, for you guys, podcast talking about some things that I lived in my life as well. I want to give you, and I want to make some videos and podcasts, teaching you English and giving you a lot of things that you can get to know from English. Because that's one of the things that I want, that is in this new year that we're gonna start 2024, you could speak English. I want that you have that experience, what is speaking English, and feel more motivated, to feel more motivated, to feel like, wow, man, finally I am speaking English. That's something that I want for you. And you have no idea, guys, how this feels. You have no idea how you can feel it when you finally have your own money, when you finally are making your money, when you finally, have a lot of things and stuff that you want. So this is something that only English could give me. Better opportunities comes to English. So understand this: if you want to change your life, if you want to change your family, if you want to change your environment, so go ahead and learn English. So get this idea, stuck to you with this idea, man, because this is something that you have no idea how many happy I feel every single time when I remember my whole process, how hard, challenging, and difficult it was for me, everything. But now that I have, expensive things, right now that I have my house, and it is an expensive, it's something so expensive, my house right now. When I got, for first time, my first card, and it is expensive. When for the first time I got one gold watch and all this stuff, and right now I have, my money, I can spend my money in whatever things that I can. So bro, if you want to change super great your life, work on your English, and I'm here for that. So have a vision, always be disciplined, and always only think in everything that you can have if you start to work right now in your English. Because right now it is so important to know English, to speak English. So guys, I want this for you, and I have this dream for you, I have this vision for you, and I want that 2024 it could be a so successful year for you guys. So for me right now is so successful, and I want that for you too. It could be something super successful. So guys, I will finish and I will stop with this podcast right now, because let me tell you that for finish with this, Let me tell you that right now I can support my family, I can support my mother, I can support, in fact, my siblings. I can help them. But how did I do it? I worked on my English, and I will give you a step by step that everything that I did, and I want to tell you some stories too, because I wanted you work with your ears and understand everything about English. So it is only in order that I wanted you understand and speak English. So remember, repeat. You can not only, listen in English, because I want that you work in everything. I want that you could understand. I want that you could speak. I want that you could write it. And I want that you could get everything about English. So I will finish with this podcast, with today's podcast, and I'll see you in the next podcast. So remember to leave your comment, remember to subscribe to this channel, and remember, guys, to leave your comment. So guys, I see you then, and remember to keep yourself motivated. So bye bye, I see you then.